One of the biggest lies you can tell yourself is this: once I get this next thing, I'll be satisfied. Because if you're honest, that feeling almost never lasts. You get the new item, you enjoy it for a little bit, and then your mind starts looking for the next thing. That's the trap. And that's why I think minimalism might quietly be one of the best ways to save your money, protect your peace, and take your life back. I think a lot of people misunderstand minimalism. They hear it and think it means no personality, no nice things, empty room, boring life, never buying anything again. That's not what I mean. I'm not saying you can't own things you genuinely love. I'm not saying every purchase is bad. And I'm definitely not saying you can't have beautiful things, rare things, meaningful things, or things that have story behind them. What I'm saying is this: there's a huge difference between owning a few things that add meaning to your life and living in a constant cycle of chasing the next object. That cycle will drain your money, your focus, your peace, and your ability to just sit still and be content. And most people don't even realize it's happening. The real problem isn't stuff, it's the chase. This is the part people miss. The problem usually isn't the one item, it's the mindset behind it, because one item becomes one more figure, one more jersey, one more collectible, one more hoodie, one more pair of sneakers, one more upgrade, one more limited release, one more thing you swear is the last thing. That's how it grows, not overnight, quietly. And the worst part is, every purchase feels justified in the moment. You tell yourself, this one is special, this one has a story, this one is rare, this one will complete the setup, and this one will make everything better. But if you keep repeating that pattern, eventually you're no longer buying because something truly matters. You're buying because your brain got addicted to the pursuit, the dopamine trap. That's really what it is. It's not always about the item itself. A lot of the time, it's searching for it, watching videos on it, checking if it dropped, seeing if it's sold out, imagining how it would look like in your room, picturing yourself owning it, tracking the package, waiting for arrival. That whole process becomes the hit. And once your brain gets used to that hit, normal life starts to feel flatter. Now, peace feels boring, saving money feels boring, not buying anything feels boring. So what do? You go back online, you check the sites, you scroll eBay, you scroll Amazon, you check the brand page, you check the team store, you checked what dropped. And eventually, even if you went in saying, I'm just looking, you're going to find something. Of course you are, because you're feeding temptation directly into your own mind. If you keep looking, you will want something. This is one of the biggest practical points in the whole video. If you constantly visit websites where things are sold, eventually your mind is going to lock onto something. That doesn't make you weak, that makes you human. If every day you go on shopping websites, resale apps, resale pages, merch pages, collector pages, clothing sites, you're training your brain to always be on the hunt. Compare that to someone whose day revolves around their work, their goal, their business, their craft, their content, their health, their relationships, their actual life. That person is not feeding the I need something new part of their brain every day. And because of that, they're way less likely to get pulled into unnecessary spending. That's a massive difference. Before you discovered it, you were fine. This is one of the strongest truths in this whole video. Before you even discover that website, that store, that product line, that niche, that collectible category, you were fine. You weren't stressed about the items you were missing. You weren't thinking about the jobs you didn't know existed. You weren't worried about releases that happened before you ever found them. So when your brain says now, I need this, it's not really true, because you already lived without all the previous things. You only feel like you need it because it's now in front of you. That changes everything once you realize it. It means a lot of desire is not real necessity, it's exposure. Minimalism is really about freedom. This is why I think minimalism is powerful. Minimalism is not just fewer items, cleaner room, less clutter. It's freedom from unnecessary temptation, mental noise, constant wanting, dopamine dependency, financial leakage, emotional attachment to objects. And once you start living that way, life gets lighter because you're not always wondering, what should I buy next? What am I missing out on? What dropped today? What can I add to my room? What can I upgrade? Now your mind has room again. That room becomes peace. This doesn't mean you can't own nice things. This matters because I don't want this to turn into fake extreme advice. I'm not saying never buy a quality monitor, never buy one nice fragrance, never own a meaningful collectible, never decorate your room, never treat yourself. That's not realistic. There is a huge difference between intentional ownership and compulsive accumulation. Intentional ownership says, I save for this. I really want this. It has meaning. It adds to my life. I'm buying it in moderation. I'm not depending on it for happiness. Compulsive accumulation says, I just need one more. This one will complete everything. I'll save later. I deserve it. I can't miss this. I need it now. That second mindset is where people get trapped. The question that changes purchases. Here's the question more people need to ask before buying anything. How much will this actually change my life? Not, how exciting does this feel right now? How cool does it look? How rare is it? How badly do I want it in this moment? No. How much will this truly change my life? Will it improve your daily peace? Will it improve your health? Will it improve your future? Will it meaningfully improve your quality of life? Or is it just going to give you a temporary spike followed by another search for the next thing? That one question saves people a lot of money. What minimalism gives you in return? This is where the trade becomes obvious. Once you stop chasing objects, you gain, number one, more money. This is the most obvious one. Less impulsive spending, less random purchases, less debt, less I'll save after this one. That alone changes lives. Number two, more peace. Your mind is calmer when it's not always hunting. Number three, more appreciation. You start enjoying what you already have instead of constantly replacing the feeling with something new. Number four, more discipline. You stop rewarding every urge. Number five, less clutter. Not just physical clutter, mental clutter. And number six, more focus on what actually matters. Your health, your work, your relationships, your experiences, your purpose, and your growth. That's a better life. Experiences over objects. This part matters too. If you're going to spend money, spend intentionally. And a lot of the time, life experiences gives you more than objects do. Because an object sits there, but an experience becomes a memory, changes your perspective, teaches you something, gives you a story, gives you emotion that actually lasts. Objects can be nice, but if your happiness depends on them, you'll always be vulnerable to wanting more. Experiences don't usually trap you in the same cycle the way material chasing does. The room example, the reset mindset. A powerful way to think about this is this. If you had to restart from scratch, what would you actually need? Most people, if they're honest, would realize setup, bed, clothes, basics, a few meaningful items, and done. That realization is huge because it shows you how much of what you currently chase is extra. Nice to have? Maybe. Necessary? Usually not. And once you understand that, you stop acting like every new drop is a life decision. The real flex. I think the real flex is not owning everything. The real flex is being able to see something, appreciate it, and still say, I don't need that. That's power. Because now your mind is not getting dragged around by every new release, every limited item, every cool object, every ad, every website, every new piece of merch, every upgrade. Now you own yourself. This is a much better feeling than owning one more thing. In closing, so no, minimalism doesn't mean you have to live like a robot. It means you stop letting material things quietly run your life. You appreciate what you already have. You stop feeding unnecessary temptation. You keep your money, you protect your peace, and you stop confusing wanting with needing. Because trust me, there will always be another item, another job, another collectible, another upgrade, another thing that looks like it's finally make you feel complete. Another thing that looks like it'll finally make you feel complete. It won't. What will actually change your life is this: learning how to live well without needing the next thing. That's freedom, that's peace, and honestly, that's the better deal. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys really do enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thank you guys so much for watching again. It's been your boy Anthony, and I am out.